going to show you a very short introductory video here in just a second. I'm going to give you a little background so you know what we're watching here. Melvin Velasquez is the CEO of GetServe Transportation, a local founded company here that is a soon-to-be software tycoon that specializes in the allocation and searching and connecting of PCAs, which is a personal care assistant, which, by the way, I would call it like a piece of cake assistant, because the software that Melvin has been working on has developed a new way to be much easier and better for people who need accessibility services offered to them. I'll let him tell you all about that. In fact, there's a little commercial right here that we will watch, and then we'll get Melvin up on stage and some of his team, and I'll introduce everybody else to you. So if we can get a roll on that.
Imagine the challenges of being completely physically challenged and confined to a wheelchair. Just like this individual and many like him. This app gives you the ability to request a driver, a PCA, or both simultaneously. This app gives you the freedom to travel as desired from point A to point B. This app opens your life to endless transportation opportunities. You have the opportunity to request a driver, but also a personal care assistant. A PCA is willing to accompany you to a restaurant or any other recreational activity. Feeling trapped is a thing of the past. This app is the solution for traveling without limitations. Drivers have the option to be your PCA upon request and availability. GetServe Transportation is innovating and changing the accessibility of your transportation needs.
Have you ever known I should restrict a drive? Well, this PCA locator is designed by a physically signed individual for the physically signed individual. Together with the rest of the
complication, physically challenged, speech impediment, yet unstoppable. Let's give a warm welcome to founder, CEO, Melvin Velasquez.
Welcome, Melvin. Hello. Is this on? How are you, Melvin?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Let's see.
Can you hear me now? Testing.
There we go.
There you are, buddy.
Now we're good.
Yes, awesome. Oh, so I'm really glad to have you here today with us. Welcome to Startup Grind Fresno. How are you feeling today?
I'm really honored to be
Well, we're honored to have you, Melvin. You're a good friend of mine and a colleague, and I'm very excited to have you here with us today and learn about your story. And we're excited to see what you have in store for us today. So let's get right to it. So tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
So I was born and raised in Maduro, California.
And what university did you graduate from?
I recently graduated from Fresno State back in May of 2019 with a business administration and a position in the entrepreneurship. I'm currently enrolled in the MBA program.
That's awesome. So we share something similar because I also graduated from Fresno State with a business and entrepreneurship. So I'm glad that we share the same likes in what we study. That's awesome. So what inspired you to start this business, Melvin?
Okay. So everybody, please take a moment and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Everybody. Now, imagine waking up tomorrow morning,
Oh, okay.
not able
Yes.
to walk,
Yes, sir.
not able to move, not able to get out of bed. What will you do? I got the stage. I needed somebody to just to turn off my wheelchair.
So you need somebody to turn off your wheelchair?
I need somebody for basic everything to help me get out of bed, to help me take a shower, to help me eat, to help me go to the restroom. But there's certain disabilities that don't require much.
So I see we have somebody here sharing the stage with us. Would you like to introduce who our guest is?
Yes, it's honor to present Viviana Orozco, my chief operating.
Your chief operating officer?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome, Viviana. Great to have you here with us today. Let's give her a round of applause for Viviana Orozco. So I'm going to go ahead and hand over the mic to you, Viviana, so you can share with us some of your what you partake here with Get Served Transportation.
Hello everyone, my name is Viviana. I am the Chief Operating Officer for BS of Transportation. I just graduated myself with the same degree that Melvin did, but I did it in December. So I do partake a lot in the business, but we try to change a lot of things in here, and there's 40,000 individuals that need our help right now. There's 40,000 in the Central Valley area that are physically challenged, that would actually partake a lot in being in, downloading this application and being in this business too.
I would like to recognize one of our mentors, Jorge Cruz, pick up.
So can we get the mentor to come up here, Mr. Jorge Cruz, who's the mentor for Malvin and his team?
Stand behind.
Welcome, welcome,
Thank
Jorge.
you, thank you.
Would you like to share anything with us today?
Oh, sure. It's been an extremely pleasure working with this team. It's been almost 2 years, right? 18 months plus, give or take. A little story behind, I remember when he first came up and said, Professor Cruz, can we have an app developed in 4 months? I said, no, I think you got the wrong person. I can't do this in 4 months. I said, you have a front-end design that you have to get involved in, and you also have a back-end design, and each take a certain amount of time. And when I told him it could take a year and a half, and so on, he first, shot back and said, but that's the reality. And then he said, let's do it. And we've been involved ever since. And what you see here is been a work of his brainchild. Everything we see here, everything you'll be seeing, everything that you'll be hearing comes from his head. And all we've done is pleasure him with a team of talented individuals. And he presented the canvas, we had the brushes, and when he said paint left, we painted left. And we said paint it right, we painted right. And that's pretty much it. It's been an incredible adventure, and working with Bibiana and also the staff at Fresno State, the students at Fresno State,
Yes.
and working with Melvin, it's been an incredible pleasure.
Thank you.
That's awesome to hear, Malvin. So we're gonna get right back into it. So when was the moment you decided to take action and make the app? I mean, what was that aha moment for you where you said, you know what, like you knew you had a problem, but when did it come into your mind and say, you know what, I need to do this?
As soon as I entered Fresno State, I surrounded myself with the correct individuals at the correct moment. But my first semester at Fresno State, I did it on Fresno with JC. And ever since I met JC, I had a strong bond with him, and from day one, it was like I have to do this.
So you had that strong bond that you formed with JC, and that's when you knew that you guys were meant to cross paths, so you guys can create such an amazing app that's coming about. So
Yes.
that's really exciting to hear. I mean, ideas, a lot of people could come up with an idea, but what it really comes down to is taking action on that idea. So, and to execute, yes, sir, definitely.
Because you can play all you want all your life, and if you don't execute, you're gonna be in the books.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I mean, you can have a plan, but if you're not executing that plan, at the end of the day, it's just a plan, right? So execution is really important, and it's awesome to see that you're bringing your plan, your dream to fruition. So, what were some of the steps it took to make this app? Can you elaborate on that, or maybe your team could go ahead and elaborate on that?
Sure. In any mobile app or any type of application, there's a front end. We call that the UI UX. That's the user interface, user experience. That requires a design in itself. Any app you open right now has a color, has a feel, has buttons, and all that has to feel right to the user. And so when we started creating this concept, I asked them, do you have an idea of what it should look like? Are there any comparatives out there that we can, not reverse engineer, but look at and maybe follow? And he wasn't too sure. He knew what he knew what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went in and I searched out a professor at the university who teaches web development. But this instructor, this professor, is an artist herself. And what she was able to do with Melvin and the team was to give them these colorful ideas. We did a brainstorming session. That's how it started, believe it or not, a brainstorming session. We put these ideas up on a whiteboard, right? 2 days of brainstorming.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what needed to be done. We just didn't know what it was going to look like. And so this brainstorming session for 1 day ended up to a second day. And then we decided, okay, this brainstorming session has thrown so much at us, we're going to pick exactly what we need. And it all started from there. We sponsored, what was it? About 5 or 6 students?
9 altogether divided into 2 semesters.
Fresno State has this luxury of offering the 187's practicum. And what that is professionals that come to Fresno State can literally bring in 4 students at no cost to the company. These are 4 students that will work for 4.5 months and earn a grade. And at the end of the day, we end up with a product, okay, which is exactly what happened. They sign an NDA. Fresno State has no access or no control of the application, no ownership whatsoever. Students do not have any ownership. They sign a non-disclosure agreement. So for 4.5 months, we put them to work. My experience, my background is in software development, web interfaces, back end and front end, user interface, user development. So it was a match made in heaven. I knew exactly what needed to be done. I took these 8 students and basically for 4.5 months directed them to develop exactly what Melvin wanted. And now these are 8 or 9 students who had no idea what UI UX is. Absolutely no idea.
That was one of our big frustrations because me and JC knew what we wanted, and we had to give the count.
It was a learning experience for Melvin. He was worried a lot, and I said, no worries. We've got 4.5 months. I'll get these people to believe in the product. And sure enough, after 4.5 months, we were able to create 2 versions of it. Okay? 2 sides, right? The user and the driver side. And I told him, look, let's build the driver application, which is the monster of the product. And then the following semester, we can chop it down to a user application. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. But all this, when I say that it was developed by Fresno State hands, it literally was. I've been fortunate enough to be allowed these particular students. Good support from Professor Kwan. We definitely cannot put him aside. Getting 8, 9 students to work on one project is quite challenging. We normally would have had maybe 4, but to get 8 or 9 was a blessing in itself. And from that point on, here's where we are. I told him that along with that design, we need documentation. His question was why? Well, if anyone knows anything about software development, you have the back end, which is the coding portion. That's by far the most challenging portion. Everyone here sees an app, not realizing that the back end of that is a huge amount of coding, lots of writing, lots of syntax. And so I told them that if we don't have the documentation or the look, we're going to have a bunch of software developers that won't have any direction. So when we finally finished those 2 semesters, okay, we had a documentation that was almost an inch and a half thick, right?
Yes.
Thick, of complete document, flow chart, colors, color schemes. We had a database of assets, meaning those are little buttons,
Yeah.
Photoshop pictures. And so with that, we were able to now decide, okay, let's move forward, and now we have the back end is under development now. The same team was able to put together a concept of what we have as far as the webpage. Fortunately, I have access to a team in Nepal, software development team, which is quite economical, quite reasonable. We do a lot of outsourcing versus trying to find a team locally, which is way beyond Melvin's budget.
Yes.
Okay. I spent a good portion of my career in Nepal, so I was able to access and develop a team there, which is right now, as we speak, working on his back-end development.
Oh, wow, that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. Okay, so just to be clear, this is not a ride-sharing app, right?
No.
So can you elaborate on that? Because I know there's been a bit of bias where people think like, oh, you know, is this Uber for, you know, the physically challenged? Like, so can you elaborate on that? That way people don't have the misconception that this is not like an Uber. This is something totally innovative for the physically challenged.
This is nothing like Uber. Why? With the Uber, there's not to work it on in the rest. The mature, they don't have the main aspect.
So the majority don't have the main aspects.
The work.
Okay.
The main aspect of people sharing is to for people to be willing to share their time.
So it's for people that are willing to share their time. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Going a little bit further, what is the main feature of this application?
So the application is based on a personal care assistant. That's short. There's a short term for PCA. And what this person does, Renee is actually Melvin's PCA right now, so she actually had to come on stage with him and turn off his chair as he came on stage. So what a PCA basically does is they help him on their daily needs. So if he needs help going to the restroom, eating, like he said, bathing and everything. So a PCA would be requested through the application. So you would log onto the application, request a PCA, and they would meet you at a location or they would drive there themselves and assist you throughout the day. So it's up to the person how many hours they need, so they can request how many hours they would need for the actual trip, or they would be given dinner, they would be given lunch. Whatever the client needs is actually what they're going to be doing themselves as well. So if they were to accompany Melvin to a restaurant, then they would get the meal free themselves too. So,
for example, if I want to go eat, I go there and request the Melvin PCA. I hire for a minimum of 2 hours and get paid to get taken out quick.
So can you elaborate on that, what he just said, Viviana?
So what Melvin just said is that if he were to go on the application, he would request a minimum of 2 hours. Let's say he wants to go to a restaurant. So the PCA would meet him at a restaurant, and he or she would stay with him and go throughout the trip. So they would stay at the restaurant and basically do the same thing together.
Eat.
help him eat, and anything that he would need for the actual trip.
Or even a concert.
So yeah, I've been following you on Facebook, and I see that you're a maniac on going to concerts. You love to dance, right? Any ladies out here who like to dance want to be Malvin's date?
Or PCA.
Or PCA, yeah, right.
I'm currently in the process to stopping that hobby because I made a promise, but there are recreational activities.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, I know we had covered, what is the misconception about, people sharing and ride sharing. So, so what you guys are offering is basically, a PCA assistance where it's, you're sharing the assistant with through this app. So, I mean, this application could basically be used by any physically challenged individual, and that PCA can be able to get.
Or an elderly individual.
Or a what? Oh, an elderly individual. Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So this goes for. So this application would help physically challenged, mentally challenged, or elderly individuals. So it would go for all three.
Oh, wow. That's great to hear.
Anyone who needs help.
Anyone needs help.
So anyone who needs help. Okay. So what feature allows the back and forth transition of positions, like for the PCA driver? So how do you know if either, the person's going to be your PCA or your driver?
So when you sign up for the application, you're going to log in and you're going to select whether you want to be a PCA, whether you want to be a PCA with a car, so you would be able to drive them around, or whether you just want to be a user. So once you log on, there's going to be a small toggle at the top of the screen that you would just click on, and you would decide whether today you wanted to just be a PCA, or if you have a car and you want to be a PCA and a driver. So that's where you would choose what you would like to give, whether you'd like to just be one or both.
Okay, so that gives the person who's offering their assistance to either be the driver or the PCA or even both. Okay, that's interesting to know. So what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced creating this application?
To find a reliable and responsible PCA.
To find a reliable and responsible PCA. And as far as your research goes and stuff, have you seen that there's people who are willing to do this, or have you?
Yeah. I've been playing out the weather, and there's about 120 people signed up.
So far you have 120 people who have signed up. Oh wow, that's interesting.
In week and a half.
In the past week and a half, so you have 120, and these are PCAs and drivers, or just PCAs?
PCA.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're almost getting ready to close up the questions for us. So just to conclude a little bit, what would you say to others in similar situations as you are in right now?
That with God, nothing is impossible.
Amen to that. Yes, that's true. God first. So, what advice do you have for working with disabled bodies?
To be really patient.
To be very patient.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, last but not least, give us some of your thoughts and some of your favorite quotes that you would like to share with us.
My favorite quote is that any inability hinders from achieving your goal.
So I have here that it's do not let any inability stop you from achieving your goals. And if there's a will, there's a way, correct? Awesome. So it was a pleasure having you here with us today. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it over.
So we are going to go ahead and switch it over. We're going to do a Q&A. But I did want to share, we do have our website up. So I wanted to go ahead and show it to you guys. So this is our website. We are able to scroll down, but I'm going to go ahead and if you can click on the donate button. So there's two things that we really, really would love it if you guys could look into right now. So we are doing signups. Like he said, we have 120 individuals signed up to be a PCA or a PCA and a driver. So whenever you scroll down to about the middle of our website, you're gonna.
You can scroll down. Oh, went up.
So when you scroll down, it shows you and it gives you definitions of what a PCA, a user, and a PCA driver will do. And if you put the mouse on top of it, it's going to allow you to register. We need more PCAs and more drivers. If you guys are willing to do this, sign up right now, and we can go ahead and make this a reality. Another thing, go all the way to the top again, please. When you click on the donate button, we have two links. And we have a Venmo and we have a PayPal. If you wanted to help us out today and support us a little bit more, then we are accepting donations right now as we speak because we wanted to go ahead and finish the backside of the application as well. Like JC mentioned, we do have to finish coding the application. So with support from everybody in this room, if possible, then we can make this a reality. So if you guys are interested, you guys can go ahead and do that as well. But thank you for everything. Thank you for listening to everything that we had to say. And thank you guys for...
Yeah, it was my pleasure for having you guys. Melvin, it's always my pleasure to have you and get to learn more from you. I'm really honored and inspired from your story. And, it's really inspiring to learn that, despite having a disability, you're not letting that be an impediment. So I ask everybody, what's your excuse from achieving your goals? What's your excuse for achieving your dreams? We have a perfect example right here of somebody who, despite his disability, does not have an excuse to achieve his realities. So I am going to open up the Q&A to the audience. So if anybody have any questions that they would like to ask.
Yeah, we would like to use the microphones here for the questions. That way we can make sure that everybody can hear and that it gets recorded properly. Does anybody have any questions out here for Melvin or the team? Right here? Right? Oh, one. Okay, here we go. We good? Here we go. We good?
Do you have to have any type of certification to be a PCA, or can anybody be a PCA?
They have to have a clean button. And it can be record.
So that's
reasonable.
That's a clean background and a clean DMB record. Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Who's next? I saw there's some other hands that came up.
Come on. Don't
Okay. While they're thinking of them, I got a question for you, Melvin. Okay. What do you do to relieve stress? What do you do to relieve stress, Melvin?
Not a hard question.
Okay, well, there was a hand over here. Where is it? Oh, right here. Okay. What's your name, buddy?
Chris Johnson. Definitely going to be a potential user, so I'm curious how much the fees are going to be for people using the services.
Okay, for example, for my daughter to finish the transportation part for the 26 months.
So, what is that? So, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, he mentioned the transportation portion. There's a fee for that. But let's assume, he mentioned the transportation portion, but let's assume that you need a PCA. you said minimum 2 hours, you agree. And there's usually a minimum wage to that, at least for those 2 hours. The minimum wage here in Fresno, I think it's $11, when the Bay Area is $15. And so that's what the PCA is going to earn for those 2 hours. Okay? And there are more details as to company finances, but that's not important right now. The question is, what would a PCA earn? And that would be a minimum wage and a minimum of 2 hours.
Perfect.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, go ahead.
One, I wanted to know if there's a way to share that, so we can get.
The website.
Yeah.
Definitely. We have the website, so can we share the website?
Sure, the website right now, mobile app right now is GetGSTPCA. GetGSTPCA.com.
Okay, but you know how there's like a GoFundMe thing or like a donate thing that you can do on Facebook? Is there something like that where you can?
This same website or this same link can be placed on any Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the second question is the driver. What kind of vehicle do they have to be able to transport, or do they need wheelchair accessible?
Wheelchair accessible vehicle, that is
Okay.
correct.
Even with the elderly, you have to have that?
It's always it's good to have one. The elderly, I would say, and this is a discussion we've had in the past, any PCA who's willing to be a driver must at least have a wheelchair accessible vehicle. That wheelchair accessible vehicle can be used for the elderly. And so minimum, and we spoke about the must have it, and that's if they wish to drive. This is not a ride share program. It is a PCA people share, but it leaves it open for those who have wheelchair accessible vehicles. There are quite a few wheelchair accessible vehicles that usually sit in front of the house and do not get used. And his idea was, why not put them to work? Put them to work.
Definitely.
And make money.
Make money, yeah, all right. Okay, look, it's never too late and there's never an end to ask any of these questions, but now would be a really good time if you have any more, like while we're here. Yeah? Okay.
So my name is Justin Hinojosa. I'm from Community Vocational Services. So I was wondering if you request a PCA to, like in the commercial for dinner and a movie, are you obligated then to pay for the PCA's whole trip as well?
Yeah.
Is that included in the fee when you do the initial like sign up or whatever, or when you request your PCA?
Yeah.
Okay.
The user will pay for the data and the movie.
So the user will pay for the dinner and the movie. That's what
Right.
he's saying.
And if he needs a companion or a PCA to help him at a concert, the user will pay for the concert tickets. And that also includes the time.
The beer.
It's an expense. It will be an expensive endeavor, but nevertheless, that's what the purpose of the PCA is, right?
Thank you.
Sounds like a sweet deal, doesn't it?
You would be getting the ticket paid off, and then you would still be getting your minimum wage. So it wouldn't be like you just get the ticket paid off and you just give your time, but you're going to get paid as well. But that's the expense that he has to do because he wouldn't expect you to pay for the concert when you're going to be there with him.
Okay, anybody else? Working the courage up for some questions? Well, Melvin actually covered a lot of stuff. I mean, that was like blowing my mind over here. That's going to be the next guy you see on CNN here any minute. Okay, listen, we have some stuff to do over here, but first of all, we would like to thank one of our sponsors, which is Naked Earth Solutions. Naked Earth Solutions, which is Rafi Santillan, who is not here today but would like to have donated this gift to our special guest speaker, Melvin. Okay? Here you go. And, that's just in honor of sharing his time for us. See, not everything is a free ride, right, Melvin? Okay, so we have some announcements to make, but again, I'd like for you all to thank our guests and everybody up here who has been part of Melvin's team, and Melvin for taking the time to come here and share with us. He will be available for photographs and questions when we're all done. Okay, I know, he's very photogenic. And then we are going to do some stuff. We're going to raffle in a minute, so everybody hold on to your seats over here. But can we get another really big round of applause for Melvin Velasquez?